Welcome back. You're here with us on NDTV Profit, and we've been continuously bringing you the kind of expectations that various sectors have from this particular budget, from this year's budget. Today, we'll be talking about the expectations that a common man has in terms of taxes from this year's budget. And to discuss that, we are now joined by Mr. Harsh Rungta, investment advisor and founder. Thank you very much, sir, for being with us here on NDTV Profit. It's always a pleasure to have you on the show. Budget around the corner. A common man, of course, firstly looks at what happens to that slab of ATC. So, I mean, you know, for a common man, tell us what is it that you are expecting this time? Can we expect some sort of an expansion on that front? Can we expect some sort of an expansion in terms of the slab that was there, and for the housing loan process as well? Do you think some sort of an expectation is there?
Well, I think the expectation that the ATC limit would increase from 1.5 lakhs, I think would be a little unrealistic, considering that it was increased just 1.5 years ago. So I think that would be a little unrealistic. What I would, as a common person, look at, rather than the tinkering around with the slabs or with the various exemptions, etc. I think the processes and the procedures that govern income tax, and that leads to so much complication for a common person. I mean, one of the biggest complaints that a honest taxpayer has is the delay in tax refunds, and I think it is in this connection that the Iswar Committee, the Justice Iswar Committee report that has been submitted by the committee to the government, recommending that there be almost be penal interest if refunds are delayed, 12% if it is more than 6 months and up to a year, and 18% if it is more than 12 months. Now, if those recommendations are accepted, that will ensure that an honest taxpayer gets back his refunds pretty quickly, because otherwise the department will end up paying a very high price. I think that is a fundamental change that can ensure that services are actually given quickly, because now a cost will be attached to not giving it quickly. I think, and there are several other similar changes that have been suggested, very commonsensical. If those are accepted, right, I think that will be a big step forward in the ease of doing business, which is as much important for a common man as an ATC exemption limit.
Right. So ATC expansion is something, of course, we can't expect. Procedures need to be simplified. Delay, delay in getting the tax refund is something that needs to be sorted out as well. We'll touch upon each and every expectation one by one. And before we start, I want to ask you, what's the expectation as far as this entire mutual fund industry is concerned, considering how people have now started considering this as a better asset class, as real estate and the gold, thing is not really doing pretty well. So on that front, is there expectation, and that too some big expectation?
I think on the mutual fund side, one of the expectation that very clearly is that today there is a tax break for the equity linked savings scheme. There are retirement benefit schemes similar to NPS that are floated by mutual funds. That's part of 1.5 lakhs. I think with some safeguards, if that exclusive 50,000 limit that is there for NPS, if that is also given to these retirement benefit funds, I think that would be really be something that will push the whole thing much faster, because I think mutual funds have a far better marketing reach than the NPS has.
Right, Mr. Rungta, what we're hearing all the time from many economists and market guests is that it's time to boost consumption. Urban consumption may still be okay, but rural consumption is just not picking up. All of last year it's been lower than expected. So the idea is to put money in people's pockets. The idea was mooted some time back that the income tax threshold where you're not taxed at all should be increased to 5 lakhs. It is at 2.5 lakhs for individuals at this point of time. Do you think the threshold can be increased so that there is more money in the pockets to spend?
Well, I think if the question was, would I want the threshold to increase, it's very obvious that, of course, every taxpayer would want that threshold to increase. But I think two issues. One, that threshold was again increased from 2 lakhs to 2.5 lakhs just 1.5 years ago. That's one. And secondly, it runs counter to the government's idea of spreading the tax net. So I think maybe the threshold won't change. What possibly could definitely change is the threshold for senior citizens, which today is just at 3 lakhs. I think that probably might change. There could be a change in the slabs. Instead of the second slab starting at 5, if that is pushed to 6 lakhs, I think that could also be a good move that will leave more money in the hands of a consumer.
Right. Mr. Rungta, while better reforms, administrative reforms to be welcome, we want to end taxpayer harassment. But what really catches everybody's eye is the amount of money they have to pay as tax and what they save on tax. Now, when it comes to home loans, do you think there will be indexation benefits on the exemptions you get on interest payment as well as principal repayment for home loans? Because this is something the real estate industry also wants, and it would of course also impact the home buyer.
So Nisha, I have always argued that I think this limit of 2 lakhs on self-occupied house, whilst if you give the same house on rent there is absolutely no limit, is completely illogical. In fact, it should be the other way around. If it's a self-occupied house, there should not be any limit, and the money or the revenue loss that is caused can be more than made up if the carry forward losses on a rental property are not allowed to be set off against other income, are only allowed to be set off in future years. I think this is hugely justified, that there should not be any limit on the self-occupied properties. Even if there is, it should be much higher, because a 2 lakh limit covers a loan of roughly 20 lakhs. Even if you take husband and wife together, that's just 40 lakhs, which means a house of 50 lakhs. In the urban areas, I think today 50 lakhs really does not count for too much, and I think therefore that is one area where the government has to look at much more relief, irrespective of the revenue considerations, because any relief they give there has a large spin-off benefit to a number of industries: cement, steel, employment, large scale semi-skilled and unskilled employment as well.
Right, Mr. Rungta, also very quickly, what about the medical reimbursement, health insurance, and particularly transport allowance, something that we were expecting last year as well, which hasn't really changed. So any expectations on those fronts?
I think very clearly those numbers will definitely change, because those numbers have been fixed close to 8, 10, maybe even longer. So I mean, a 15,000 rupee medical reimbursement limit or an 800 rupee transport allowance limit is clearly inadequate in any area in the country today. I mean, that would not really give you anything at all. So I think that is a relief that should come as a matter of course. I don't think that is something that we will not get. I am reasonably sure those numbers will be revised upwards.
All right, Mr. Rungta, we'll leave it there. It's always a pleasure to have a conversation with you, and of course we look forward to having another conversation once the budget is out to actually match how much of the expectation really has been met. Thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you.
So those were the expectations that a common man usually has from the budget. After the break, we'll tell you what is it that the power sector